Thanks for tuning into Halton News right here on your TV. It's Friday, August 7th, and I'm Jessica Kading. Someone in Halton has confirmed positive for COVID-19 between yesterday and today, bringing our total number of active cases in the region to 15, up from yesterday's 14. 3 of those current cases are in Burlington, 8 in Oakville, 4 in Milton, and 0 in the town of Halton Hills. While Oakville's numbers are still quite low, the town does currently have the most number of cases of any municipality in Halton. Oakville's Mayor Rob Burton has commented that he's concerned about the number of people congregating at local beaches, such as Coronation Park, without any efforts to social distance. To try and limit visitors, parking spaces have been reduced and parking fines might be increased for those who park in restricted areas. Council may also consider bringing back the physical distancing bylaw in an effort to encourage people to mind their distance. Ontario has now introduced a preferred route for a new 400 series highway crossing York, Peel and Halton regions. The province says this GTA West Corridor highway will be 4 to 6 lanes wide and is meant to reduce travel times for commuters as well as support economic growth and job creation. It will also include separate infrastructure dedicated for transit and passenger stations, as well as intelligent transportation features and truck parking. While this is a preliminary design, it was created after reviewing feedback from public consultations, stakeholders, and new land use and environmental information. Further consultations will be held over the next 2 years as this design is further developed, but the Environmental Defenses Program Director Keith Brooks says today's announcement is disappointing. He does not believe Ontario needs another 400 series highway and states that creating one will destroy communities, damage the environment, and not even benefit commuters. He's calling on the province to cancel the planned highway entirely. It's been a long time coming for the people in Centre Wellington. We spoke with Wellington Halton Hills MPP Ted Arnott earlier today to tell us the great news that was announced this morning.
Well, today we cut the ribbon at the new Groves Memorial Community Hospital in Centre Wellington. And it's the result of a large community effort that has gone on for almost 20 years, where people have worked together to advocate for, raise money for, and then plan for a brand new hospital for Centre Wellington. So it was a huge, wonderful day for our community, and I was very pleased to be part of it today. We have an existing site at Union Street in Fergus that has served the community for about 65 years, with a number of additions and changes over the years, but it is an aging piece of infrastructure, and it is showing its age. So the new hospital will be state-of-the-art. It will have modern equipment. We will be able to attract new health professionals, I know, as part of the plan that we have in the coming years. And we'll be able to meet the primary health care needs of the community for the next couple of generations.
Those of you interested in preventing overdevelopment in Burlington should know that Burlington Council has scheduled an extra meeting this upcoming Tuesday, August 11th to discuss that very issue. There will be recommendations on the downtown's urban growth center and major transit station area designations. Staff are asking the Halton region to remove the major transit area designation and support the changes in Halton's official plan review. On Thursday of next week, there will be an additional meeting of council to discuss making masks mandatory in apartment and condo building common areas, among other topics. In other city news, there will be a brand new mural painted in front of City Hall to pay tribute to the Black Lives Matter movement and show support for the minority black population in Burlington. The artwork was created by an anonymous local artist and will be installed this weekend and remain up until September 13th. Japanese Canadians across the country, including right here in Halton, are remembering the tragedy of the atomic bombs in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. This year is the 75th anniversary of the bombings. Melissa Candelaria was able to speak with an Ontario artist who talks about how he pays tribute each year.
On August 6th and August 9th, 1945, the United States detonated 2 atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, killing between 129 and 226,000 people. Bryce Canberra is an artist who conducts a shadow project in Hamilton every year in commemoration.
Well, my father, his hometown is in Hiroshima, Ken, the province of Hiroshima. And although he was not there during the war, the bomb dropped several miles away and devastated that whole region. it's where my generations of my family come from in Japan. And so it has an emotional impact on me, of course.
Although he was not born in Hiroshima, Canberra felt it was his duty to pay tribute in some way. His inspiration for the project began when he was in school.
There were activists who would go out on the eve of the dropping of the bomb on Hiroshima and do these shadow outlines of bodies on the street as a kind of remembrance. And I remember doing some of that when I was in high school. But as the decades passed, that practice was not carried on very much. And in 1995, which is the 50th anniversary, I was working in Toronto at the National Association of Japanese Canadians office, and the Peace Coalition in Toronto was going to have this, as they do annually, have this commemoration at Nathan Phillips Square. So we decided at the National Association office in Toronto to contribute by doing the Shadow Project. In fact, it was like a revival of the Shadow Project, because even some of the people on the committee didn't know about it and had never participated in it.
Since then, Canberra moved the project to Hamilton for visitors across Ontario, and what he says is a small gesture in honor of the dead and survivors.
In a small way, we contribute to maintaining the memory, sustaining the memory of what happened, because it was such a catastrophic event. And as we're actually doing the shadow drawings on the street in the evenings, people stop and passersby stop. They ask questions. Many of them don't know anything about Hiroshima or Nagasaki, and we have an opportunity to inform them. And so again, in a small way, it's an educational process as well.
Reporting for Halton News, I'm Alyssa Candelaria.
The Red Cross in Burlington has seen increased demand since the pandemic started. A few programs have been altered to allow them to continue to reach clients, and volunteers have been essential for success throughout. Nikki Wesley has more.
Throughout the pandemic, the Canadian Red Cross in Burlington has continued delivering Meals on Wheels with the help of their generous volunteers like Yasmin Aziz. In fact, COVID has increased the need, and they have delivered 1,100 more meals since the beginning of April when compared to last year.
For the most part, when we first started, it was, going into their homes and doing that. Now it's more dropping off at their door, knocking and stepping back and making sure that they're getting the meal but not getting close to them. So I think that's been a big change. And for a lot of these people, we just used to just walk in and talk to them and whatnot. So it's kind of less of that now, which is a little sad, but at the same time, it's for everyone's best interest.
Do you miss it? Do you miss chatting?
Yeah, I do. A lot of the people I drop off to are funny and they have nice stories to share, so I miss hearing them. Yeah.
Normally, the Red Cross assists community members, giving them a ride to medical appointments, personal appointments, or even grocery shopping. But the pandemic completely shuttered that program. Community Services' Amanda Baker explains how they pivoted to continue to help those clients.
We've also started calling our clients and making wellness calls. That was something we started in the beginning, especially for the transportation clients that are not seeing the drivers or not getting to their appointments. Everything was closed. Also doing it for the meals clients as well with the calls, because we're not delivering like we used to. So it's more contactless delivery, where we drop the meal, we make sure they can see it and they get it, but we're distancing. So they don't have that conversation that they're used to any longer. So there's been a few changes, a lot of changes around the office, and a lot of changes for the volunteers to get used to with all the PPE kits they have to have. So they carry little paper bags every day. We put fresh PPE, and it's all the amount they need for all the buildings, for all the homes they go to.
As restrictions are lifting, they are preparing to restart the transportation program, installing sneeze guards in the vans and buses, and sorting out their new disinfection protocols.
Our vehicles have to be completely sanitized before they're back on the road. They also have to be sanitized in between each client, fresh PPE for clients, drivers, and then obviously they're going to go through that at their appointment as well. So there's a lot of safety measures in place, which I think is great. I think that we're doing a really good job across the province.
The Red Cross has even been helping out other groups.
We're assisting a program from Joseph Brand Hospital, so our volunteers and drivers have been helping deliver food hampers that are prepared by the Salvation Army. So what we're seeing is a lot of agencies really crossing over and helping each other out, which has been amazing for the community.
To volunteer either in person or virtually, go to redcross.ca/volunteer. Reporting for Halton News, I'm Nikki Wesley.
The pandemic has seen more children on screens more than most parents would like, so one Burlington teen started her own business to help keep those children engaged.
Set Enterprises, or Steph's Engagement and Tutoring, is a virtual business that caters to children ages 5 to 14. It was created at the beginning of the pandemic by Stephanie Matza with assistance from the Ontario government's Summer Company program with the Halton Small Business Centre.
I do ukulele lessons, craft sessions, game sessions, and a few other things like math to prepare them for school in September.
What inspired her to start the business?
Well, I saw during the pandemic that parents just don't have any childcare options available, or very little. Their children are all out of school. They're not really learning as much as they did in school, so the extra help with math and different school subjects would be really helpful to them. And also, working parents have to go to meetings all day. They don't have time to engage with their children, so these children are just left to play on the iPad or technology all day when the parents are working.
She's had an incredible response from both parents who appreciate the safe way she engages virtually and enthusiastic students.
A lot of children are really excited to have like an older kid teaching them something new, to learn something new, to have something to do when their parents are working and say like, I'm sorry, I can't play with you right now. To be able to like pick up their ukulele and be able to learn something new even on their own. They really like it.
She offers such a diverse group of activities to help cater to each individual child's preferences. She even drops off the craft supplies a day or two before the virtual appointment so parents don't have to get the materials.
I find that even though it's on an iPad and they're still looking at a screen, their mind's working so much more than just playing computer games. They're being creative, and I find a lot of children, after a session, they come back to me the next one and they say, oh, I practiced ukulele for like a few hours, like I did a song for my parents. Like they want to learn these new skills by themselves, not on a screen. So I find that this session with me on a screen encourages them actually to do more stuff off of a screen during the week, which really helps their parents as well because they see like, wow, my kid just picked up a ukulele instead of their iPad. That's amazing, you know?
You can find her at sset.ca. Reporting for Halton News, I'm Nikki Wesley.
The town of Oakville has started reopening its fitness centers in stages. Glen Abbey and Iroquois Ridge officially opened today. Nikki Wesley has those details.
What is different when you first come in is actually you do have to pre-book your time slot. So right now we have 1 hour or 1.5 hour time slots available, and anybody from the town of Oakville can book those slots. When they do come in, you do have to be already pre-dressed. You'll have a pre-filled water bottle, you're ready to go work out, and then there are some COVID screening questions you do have to pass. Once you pass those questions, we have increased sanitation, so you will have to disinfect. And then you come into our center, you are guided by our arrows that are 6 feet apart. And you will see that all of our equipment is actually 6 feet apart as well. We have taken up another space to accommodate the equipment so that members feel that they have enough space and they feel safe. We have increased cleaning throughout our day. So we have, between every session, we have disinfection, and then we have massive cleans throughout the day as well. So we are very excited that our fitness centers are open, and our members are also very excited. So welcome back.
For high school students who graduated grade 12 this year, COVID-19 posed some real challenges. Unable to officially cross the stage or attend prom as they planned and look forward to for 4 years. Still ahead, a neighborhood who put on their own prom. We'll be back with that story, plus your local weather forecast after this. Welcome back to Halton News. As we all know, a lot of gatherings had to be canceled due to the pandemic, including prom, which was very disappointing for many high school students. So Margaret Wallace-Duffy from Better Together as One decided to do something about it. She put together a neighborhood prom for her daughter and friends yesterday. Let's take a look.
These kids deserve so much this year. I really, as a mom and on behalf of all the mums and dads, wanted to do something for our 2020 graduates. And this community and other communities across Canada have stepped up. And you know what? I'm tearful, to be honest, when seeing all these girls in their beautiful dresses and the limousines coming and the parents and grandparents are here. To me, this is what Better Together as One is all about. It's bringing community together. It's celebrating and elevating one another up. And not focusing on what we can't do, but what we can do. And yes, they didn't get their prom the way they wanted, but there's going to be a memory if I was going to have anything to do with it.
I'm happy to be with all my friends. Obviously, we wanted to go to prom, but I'm happy we could do this. It's the next best thing we could get, and I'm very grateful it was put together for us.
Prom is like the one thing you look forward to with high school, and I feel like when COVID hit, you suddenly were like, oh, that's not happening anymore. So honestly, kind of gave me little motivation to do school. But yeah, I was just kind of more sad about prom than anything. But yeah, it came to my mind for sure.
Does this fill that void a little bit?
It does, because we get to wear prom dresses. I get to be with my best friends, and so we get to celebrate, which is it's fun.
Yeah, I'm glad we're at least doing something, so it's not left undone, and then just everyone's moving on with their lives after as well.
I always believe when things happen, it's our reaction to things. So maybe it wasn't what they wanted, but I think in COVID, there's been a lot of blessings, a lot of gifts that we didn't really recognize. And quite frankly, when I talked to Carly and her friends, they were most excited about the pre-prom and the post-prom and wearing their dresses and being with family. Yeah, the dance itself is fun, but really it's the connection, it's the human connection that matters. We waited till phase 3, but it was time to celebrate these kids. And I got to tell you, that's what this movement is about. This movement and this philosophy is about bringing communities together to educate, empower, and inspire all of us to live well. And the girls are going to live well tonight and remember this for a very long time.
Here's a look at the Burlington Lift Bridge on yet another gorgeous day. There's more of that ahead. Sunny skies this weekend. Not a cloud in sight both Saturday and Sunday, with Sunday's high climbing up to 30 degrees in the afternoon. Those clouds will roll back in to kick off next week, though those high temperatures are expected to last throughout our 5-day forecast. We're also looking at the slight chance of rain early next week. While your summer may look a little different this year, Your TV wants you to share your summer. Head on over to Your TV Halton on Facebook and comment with a picture of what you are doing this summer. You could win a weekly prize pack or even a grand prize of $500 to support a local business. Remember to tag Share Your Summer. The Flamborough Chamber of Commerce is pleased to announce that the Flamborough Annual Golf Tournament will take place on September 23rd. If you're a member of the Rotary or Chamber, you can team up and vie for the Rotary Cup. The event is taking place at flamboroughchamber.ca is where you can sign up. And now a look to how some of Halton's top companies performed on the markets today. Time for another short break. We'll be right back with another update from the Burlington Food Bank. Welcome back to Halton News. The Burlington Food Bank recently reported that the demand was leveling off, but as you're about to see in today's update, that's no longer the case.
Hi, this is Robin Bailey, the Executive Director of the Burlington Food Bank. And as again we came to a month end last week, we start to look at numbers and start to see that there's been an increase in terms, again, of the number of people who are using us, which for me is sometimes surprising just because of how great our volunteers have done here in terms of serving people, not making it seem as though we're all that busy, and the delivery drivers, whoever it might be, we continue to move along like a great machine that's taking care of all of the needs that are being requested of us. Speaking of which, we've definitely seen over the last week a little bit of an increase. We saw a leveling off, and now we've seen this increase kind of jump back up. And it's been people who haven't used us in quite some time, whether it be half a year or a year, and for some it's even been a couple of years since they've been here and they're back to use us, or brand new people trying to use us or needing our assistance. And so we again thank people for sharing that we're available for those who need us, and we're happy that we have all of the resources that we need to be able to do that, and especially because we continue to get the support from the community. So continue to give to the food drives, continue to drop off food, and if you can give to us financially, we greatly appreciate it.
Arts Milton is once again hosting their Summer Days, Summer Nights series this month featuring local musical talent. In total, 12 curbside concerts will be put on in the town this month. The next one coming up is Thursday, August 13th between 7 and 8 p.m. The Weight Band will perform at 650 Childs Drive, Boosfield Crescent Cul-de-sac, and McNaughton Court. For more information and the rest of the concert dates, please visit artsmilton.com. Oakville Ready is hosting a contactless food drive in support of Kerr Street Mission on August 13th, and they're asking for your support. Most needed items include canned items such as canned vegetables, fruit, mixed beans, meat, and fish. Pasta sauce, flour, sugar, rice, and toiletry items are also in high demand. Please only bring brand new, unopened, non-perishable items and products that have not expired. For more information, please visit oakvilleready.ca. August is new member month for Rotary International, and we encourage family, friends, and businesses and associates to learn more about Rotary. There are many reasons why people join, including giving back locally, globally, and networking with others. In Oakville, there are 4 clubs. Prior to COVID-19, they met for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but now they're meeting electronically. To find out more information, visit rotaryoakville.ca. We'll be back with another live edition Monday at 5:30. For Halton News, I'm Jessica Kading, and I thank you for watching.